Well, let's discuss this further with James Dorsey. He's a senior fellow at the Middle Institute instead of the South Rajaram School of International Studies. Are the talks effectively over for now if Rafah is firmly on the table in Netanyahu's mind?
Well, Rafah was never taken off the table. I think the negotiations are not over. I think what we're seeing is two sets of issues. One is on the nature of the ceasefire, whether temporary or permanent. And I think there both Israel and Hamas are looking for a fig leaf. The other two issues are practical issues in a sense. With other words, the exchange rate of captives held by Hamas for Palestinians held in Israeli prisons and which Palestinians would be released, and the issue of the return of displaced Palestinians from the south to North Gaza, which is important for Hamas for two reasons. One, because it would demonstrate that it has extracted a benefit to the population of Gaza, but also because a return of refugees or displaced persons would limit Israeli military maneuverability in the north. What we're in fact seeing is, and we saw that in the US proposal that was put forward this weekend by CIA Director Burns, is by and large a return to the initial proposal put forward in January when Burns, the Israelis, the Egyptians, the Qataris met in Paris. And that proposal was a three-stage ceasefire in which in the first stage there would be an initial release of women and children held by Hamas in exchange for Palestinians. And in the second phase, they would start negotiations on a permanent ceasefire.
Would you say that this is Netanyahu's hard line now? He really wants to assert that dominance over this situation to try and bring it to a resolution?
Well, I think what you're seeing is, and that will be interesting to see what happens today in the security cabinet that is scheduled to meet, is a split. With other words, you have Netanyahu, who has a vested interest in continuing this war and has basically been towing a hard line. But not only, as your correspondent showed, the opposition leader Yair Lapid in Washington, you've had the defense minister come out this week and said, Israel can be magnanimous. We are in a military position in Gaza in which we can be flexible on the ceasefire negotiations and the hostage release. So I think we need to wait and see what comes out of that cabinet meeting.
All right, James Dorsey in Singapore, thank you.
My